Hello little mead. Today's story is The Snail and the Whale. One that I know you already know and love. It's a great story. So settle back and enjoy. I'll try and fit the whole book in so you can see it all. This is the tale of a tiny snail and a great big grey-blue humpback whale. This is the rock as black as soot, and this is the snail with an itchy foot. The sea snail slithered all over the rock and gazed at the sea and the ships in the dock. As she gazed, she sniffed and sighed. "Ah, the sea is deep and the world is wide. How I long to sail," said the tiny snail. And you can see everything that the snail can see while she sat on her rock. She doesn't want to stay put, does she? She wants to explore and see the world. I think those seagulls would like to eat her. These are the other snails in the flock, who all got stuck tight to the smooth black rock, and said to the snail with the itchy foot, "Be quiet, don't wriggle, sit still, stay put." But the tiny sea snail sighed and sniffed, then cried, "I've got it, I'll hitch a lift." This is the trail of the tiny snail, a silvery trail that looped and curled and said, "Lift wanted around the world." How clever. She's written a message with her slime. There we go. Can you see? He's so big I can't fit him in. This is the snail. No, it's not a snail. This is the whale who came one night when the tide was high and the stars were bright. A humpback whale, immensely long, who sang to the snail a wonderful song of shimmering ice and coral caves and shooting stars and enormous waves. And this is the tale of the humpback whale. He held it out of the starlit sea and said to the snail, "Come sail with me." There he is, climbing aboard. This beautiful big whale is going to take him exploring. I want you to see the pictures. This is the sea, so wild and free, that carried the whale and the snail on his tail to towering icebergs and far-off lands. Have you spotted him on his tail? With fiery mountains and golden sands. See the monkey and the turtle on the beach, and there's your fiery mountain, the volcano, and there's the little snail right on top of the tail, looking at everything, thinking how amazing the world is. These are the waves that arched and crashed, that foamed and frolicked and sprayed and splashed. The tiny snail on the tail of the whale. Getting that little bit of a rough ride there. See how big the waves are. Crashing down on, he needs to hold on tight. These are the caves beneath the waves, where stripy fish with feathery fins and sharks with hideous toothy grins swam round the whale and the snail on his tail. A lot of rhyming words there. Snail and whale and tail. This is the sky, so vast and high, sometimes sunny and blue and warm, sometimes filled with a thunderstorm, with zigzag lightning flashing and frightening the tiny snail on the tail of the whale. Ooh, that does look a bit frightening. Crash of thunder. At times we had lovely weather. It's a bit like living here in England, sometimes sunny and blue, sometimes grey and rainy. And she gazed at the sky, the sea and land, the waves and the caves and the golden sand. She gazed and she gazed, amazed by it all. And she said to the whale, "Oh, I feel so small." She's realised how big the planet is. So many different creatures, so much to see. She really is tiny. But then came the day the whale lost his way. These are the speedboats running a race, zigging and zooming all over the place, upsetting the whale with their ear-splitting roar, making him swim too close to the shore. This is the tide slipping away. The whale is stuck. He can't move. And this is the whale lying beached in the bay. "Quick! Off the sand! Back to the sea!" cried the snail. "I can't move on land. I'm too big," moaned the whale. The snail felt helpless and terribly small. Then, "I've got it," she cried, and started to crawl. "I must not fail," said the tiny snail. There she is, she's off to try and get help for this big, beautiful whale that's now stuck on the sand, and it can't breathe without water. It can't live for very long. This is the bell on the school in the bay, ringing the children in from their play. This is the teacher holding her chalk, telling the class, "Sit straight, don't talk." This is the board as black as soot. And this is the snail with the itchy foot. "A snail, a snail!" The teacher turns pale. "Look," say the children, "it's leaving a trail." This is the trail of the tiny snail, a silvery trail, saying, "Save the whale." These are the children running from school, fetching the fireman, digging a pool. Squirting and spraying to keep the whale cool. They're doing what they can on the beach there, the firemen with their hose. This is the tide coming into the bay, and these are the villagers shouting hooray as the whale and the snail travel safely away. See the little snail. Back to the dock, and the flock on the rock, who said, "Ooh, how time's flown, and haven't you grown?" And the whale and the snail told their wonderful tale of shimmering ice and coral caves, and shooting stars and enormous waves, and of how the snail, so small and frail, with her looping, curling, silvery trail, saved the life of the humpback whale. Then the humpback whale held out his tail, and on crawled snail after snail after snail. You see them there? They're all climbing onto the tail because they want to have a go now. They've heard stories of all those wonderful places and they want to go. And they sang to the sea as they all set sail on the tail of the grey-blue humpback whale. Wonder where they're going to go. Maybe the same places or maybe somewhere different. Okay, that was The Snail and the Whale by Julia Donaldson. Hope you're all keeping okay and I hope to see you soon. Bye.